Yeah.
Hope you're wearing a mask, Morris.
Occasionally, yeah, occasionally.
Well, you should be wearing a mask, you know. I used to tell Straight Off when he used to go doing all these house renovation things, and he'd come back looking like the chimney sweep out of Mary Poppins, and I'd be like, have you had a mask on? He'd go, yeah. Well, why are you the same bloody colour?
Yeah. Us men are pretty hard-headed, you know. We don't...
well, no. You need a mask on, pal. I'll tell Shoni you're not wearing a mask.
Don't tell her that because she thinks I'm wearing a mask. Damn it. Now you made me say it on the podcast. I'm busted now.
That's it. You're screwed. You better be wearing a mask.
Damn it. All right. I'll just die from not being able to breathe.
Well, if you had a bloody mask on, you'd be fine, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's not COVID anymore. No, actually, it is. It's still COVID. It's always going to be COVID, right?
It is. It's COVID forever.
I know.
Flu is now COVID.
That's right. Now you got vaccines, so I need to get my booster.
Oh, I have to go for an injection tomorrow for my new job. I have to have like loads of vaccinations. They didn't tell me this when I applied for the job because I'm deathly afraid of needles. And I will act like a 2-year-old crying, like a little toddler that's having a fit. And that's going to happen tomorrow.
They just need to sedate you first, huh?
Pretty much. Like, just hit me with a hammer and inject what you need, and I'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm not too afraid of needles. I can't say that I like them, but they don't necessarily bother me getting stuck with them.
Oh, I squeal like a little piggy. I really do. I hyperventilate like as they're coming near me, and then just and then of course it hurts because I'm like moving my arms and shit because I'm having a fit. So
well, when you do it, you need to record yourself doing it so the rest of us can see. That's only fair. You brought it up. No takes back. If no pictures, it didn't happen, kind of thing. So you got to record that. We have to put that.
So I'll just do a live stream of me having an injection for everyone to laugh at me.
Yeah, there you go. We need to incorporate it into our opening of the show.
It'll just be me going, ah!
That's right. I don't see the problem here. So what you been up to? How's the new job going? You started, or you got to get your vaccines first?
I already started.
Yeah? Do you like it? What do you do?
I do like it. I just clean, and I get to talk to all the people in the wards, and I'm bringing the lady some Christmas lights for a little mini Christmas tree because she's going to be spending Christmas in there, and I thought that was really sad.
Oh.
Considering all I'm supposed to be doing is pushing a mop round, I am far too attached to these people already.
Well, you could go to like your local college and you can take like nursing, and I bet you could get a job taking care of them. That's an option too. That could be fun.
I know. However, what if I've got to give them needles? Are you kidding me? We'll both be hyperventilating because I'll be going, I can't look, I'm closing my eyes. Oh, I don't stop it.
You'll have everybody fainting.
Fuck, it'd be like Quincy. You remember the opening of Quincy where he's there and he starts getting his tools out and they just drop one by one? It'd be like fucking that.
That's funny. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just came across, I just found a copy of one of the, speaking of old TV shows, Murder 101 movies.
I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. This one doesn't have a title. It's just called Murder 101.
There's a couple. I
think there's 4.
It's like 3. Right? Oh, yeah.
I've only been able to find 2. And one of the ones that I found, I've seen too many times, so I probably won't watch it again. It's the one with the horses.
Oh.
If wishes were horses. This one doesn't have a title, so I think it might have been the first movie.
I really like the one where it's in like a health retreat.
Oh,
it's like a locked door mystery.
Yeah. That was pretty
I like that one.
And that one and the horse one are the 2 that I've seen the most. There's 2 others that I haven't really seen. I don't think I've seen this particular one, so I was kind of excited about it. But something about an executive being murdered in an explosion in his mansion.
Ooh.
So anyway, I'll send
I really
that.
liked Murder 101. Like, I don't know why people didn't like it.
Oh, I think they did, but it had something to do with their scheduling. Dick Van Dyke and stuff with their schedule things. Because they did like a new reincarnated like sort of show and changed it to like the heck was it called? Another word for murder 101. I can't think of what the Mystery 101 or some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh, see, I always thought Murder 101 was like Diagnosis Murder when they're retired.
Right, that's what it feels like. Yeah, and I mean,
yeah, when they're both meant to be retired, but they're still not. It's just like everywhere they go, there's just a murder to solve or a mystery.
Yeah, and it probably could have done well if they didn't like change their names. You know. Dr. Jonathan Maxwell and Mike Bryant. But,
we all know who it is. We all know who it is. It's Doc Sloan.
Yep.
And Big Bazza.
Yep. So I think I might watch that tonight. So there you go.
Oh, I'm jealous.
We both watched a pretty interesting movie. How long ago did you watch it? I just watched it last night. Tonight's movie.
About 2 weeks ago. Can I just say as well, I am absolutely raging. I'm fuming.
Why? What happened? What's going on?
Because
what I did?
I got whammed.
Whammed? Like the band? They whammed you?
Yeah, I got whammed. I'm so upset. So, do you not do this in America? Is this another stupid thing that you guys don't do?
I don't know. Tell me what it is and I'll tell you.
Yeah, but from the 1st of December, you have to make it as long as you can, get into Christmas Day without hearing Last Christmas by Wham, right? Now, I've got a Wham shirt that actually says Last Christmas on it, and I've been wearing it because obviously it's the season to be jolly, right? I got whammed in my Wham shirt this morning. Morning, Jason. On the 13th of December, I got whammed.
You kind of whammed yourself with that one, though.
I'm not happy because Street got whammed about 2 weeks ago. He's been out the running for 2 weeks. Lily got it on like the 2nd of December. So I was in the lead. I could have made it till Christmas, but no.
I've never heard of that before. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't even know that Wham sung that. I was thinking Mariah Carey, but I don't know. I had no idea. But you whammed yourself wearing the shirt. I mean, you know.
No, because wearing a shirt doesn't count.
That's a knock on wood moment, though.
I tell you, I was fuming. Got whammed in my own Wham shirt.
The closest thing we have to that is being rickrolled. Do you know what that is?
No.
Well, you know that song from was it Rick Astley? Never gonna give you up, never let you down. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know where this came from or why, but getting rickrolled is where like somebody does put something out there into the world and try to get you to click on it, and then when you click on it, it takes you to that video.
Oh, right? That's so funny! I didn't even know that. I'm gonna spend my entire week off doing that.
So, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a link click on the internet or anything like that. It could be anything. Like I've seen people have stickers on their car where it's like this weird, like sort of font and weird shit. And you pay attention because you're parked at like a red light or something, reading the back of their car. And then as you keep reading it, you realize it's the fucking Rick Astley song. And you're going, fuck.
I need one of them. I want one of them for my car. It can go right underneath my Green Ranger sticker.
Yeah. So that
sounds so fun. Is that all year round?
Yeah, it's anytime. It's anytime you can get somebody with it. You know what I mean? It's like there's no
brilliant.
Yeah, I've never heard of this Wham thing. That's funny though. But then again, like I probably wouldn't have because I didn't even know they sung that song. So
no, it's quite. I don't know. Over the last couple of years, I think they call it Whamageddon. I'm not too sure.
Whamageddon.
We're in Whamageddon season now. And do you know what was the worst bit about it as well?
What's that?
I was dead pleased with myself wearing my little Wham shirt that I got for £5 from a market stall, and I was wearing it. Right, and as soon as it came on, I didn't even realise it came on. Street's just sat there looking at me, and he looked like the Cheshire fucking cat. He's got a grin on his face. smirking. And I thought, oh, he's smiling at me because he loves me. No, he's smiling at me and laughing because he can hear Wham, and he doesn't realise that I can't. Like, he's watching Whamageddon live.
That's amazing. That's so funny.
Not bad.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's kind of the same thing out here, but it's with Mariah Carey. You know, but there's no official thing about it. Just all you hear out here is everybody hates Mariah Carey and the Christmas music that she did because
I do as well.
It was like a one-time thing, but yeah, it like they can't incessantly play it, and it just plays and plays and plays, and everywhere you go, you hear it, and it's just, I don't know, it's obnoxious, I guess.
It's true. You could walk out of one shop and walk into another, and it's still the same song, but in a different part.
Yeah, I think it's like a Mariah Carey Christmas radio station.
You know? Maybe it's Mariah Carey's Christmas curse.
It could be. That could be it.
Hashtag.
You've been Mariah Careyed. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not a huge Christmas person anymore. I used to be when I was younger. I'd always get pissed off. Like if my family didn't get a tree or something, I'm like, what are you doing? You got to get a Christmas tree. We're decorating. What's going on? You know, and then they're, you know, my dad, you know, whatever, they're older. I'm like, oh, go ahead if you want to. Kind of thing. Oh. And now I'm that way. I'm like, I don't want to decorate because then you got to undecorate. It's like I got to put up Christmas lights just to take them back down a couple days later. I don't want to do that. So if we get a Christmas tree, it's like a real one. Like we end up with it till it's fucking July sitting in the house and all the needles are falling off on the ground. I don't know why.
Your house smells of pine wood all year round.
It smells of dead tree is what it smells.
I didn't even tell you about my tree.
Oh yeah, tell me. What is it?
We let Lily do the Christmas tree.
Nice.
Right? It all got sorted. She just did the front of it, basically, and then broke the leg. So we had to prop it up against the wall. It's still propped up now, but the only way to stand it up so it didn't tip over was to turn it round. So we basically ended up with a bare fucking Christmas tree because the side that had been decorated is facing the wall. And then it got whammed. Fuck's sake.
That's so funny. Did you teach her she's got to decorate the whole tree?
Well, I wasn't paying attention. I took my eye off the ball. I thought, it's okay. She's got common sense. She's old enough. Nope. Fucking no.
Never know. That's what the parents are there for. Teach these kids right. I would have probably taught her to decorate only one side of the tree.
In theory, it would have been fantastic, and it looked lovely until she broke the frigging leg on it. Poor Street's under the tree at like 11:30 at night trying to glue it back together. It's just not happening.
Well, I mean, you know, I guess it's less work to have to take down, you know, after Christmas. So she's pretty smart.
Yeah, I'm just going to tip it to one side. It'll all just come off.
You just lay it down on the floor. It doesn't have to lean against the wall. Just lay it down on the floor. You can still put presents at the end, you know. It'll be technically under the tree.
On the tree, by the side of the tree.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta hunt for it inside the tree.
So I think I'm moving over to your side now of just like, can't be arsed. Here's a candle. Just make do with that.
Right. There you go.
Just show me like decorating the house and stuff.
Yeah, we decorate every year. Yeah, she's got one of these like old porcelain Christmas trees that's got like a light in it, and you put these little crystal kind of little light things in the tree, and then the light from below like shines, and it makes it look like all the crystal things are lit up. It's pretty cool. So she likes to put that out, and then we have some just, you know, generic basic like store-bought crap that we decorate everywhere. And this year, because I'm out here in Illinois, she's out in California, I guess they went and bought a real tree, but they only bought like a little tiny like tabletop one. So of course, like the family doesn't get together very often because, you know, our kids are like, you know, my son just turned 20, and Autumn is like 17, and so everybody's at each other's throats constantly. So getting them in the room together is kind of difficult at times. So Shawnee
no
really
sharp
wanted
objects.
Yeah, no sharp, right, exactly. So Shawnee really wanted him to decorate the tree, so she got this little one, and they get in there, and of course, like they get into this huge fight. My daughter and my son, and get mad at each other or whatever. And it's just like, and Shawnee's like, God damn it, I just wanted a picture with you guys and get you to decorate the tree. And I'm like, I feel bad for you. So happy I'm over here. The holidays.
I can just imagine the picture she sends to you where it's like a tree that looks lovely and then just two people throttling each other like an episode of The Simpsons. And right. She's just trying to like put her face in and like...
Yeah, that's what it sounds like it was like. Yeah. Oh, good times. Yep. So you guys are all set up for Christmas then, I suppose.
Yeah, I bought my Christmas presents in August.
Did you? Really? Nice. Good job.
Yeah, so I don't have to fuck about in December. I'm not fighting people for a broccoli. I can't be bothered, Jason.
For a broccoli?
I'm too old for this crap. Oh yeah, they're mad. They fight each other for veg. Like Christmas Eve in the UK, it's like
who's giving vegetables
later.
for Christmas presents?
No, for the Christmas dinner.
Oh.
They're mad. Mad. Honestly, they're mad. I stay well out of it.
I get it. Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I don't shop on Black Friday. I don't go out during Christmas time. Screw that. There's no way. Nope.
No way at all. The only place I'm going is the pub, and that's 5 minutes walk. That's it.
I got a pub in my refrigerator. I'm not even going there.
You are your own pub.
That's right. You can keep your Christmas joy and your get-togethers. Hell with that. Bah, fucking humbug.
Street wants to see if he can be a professional Grinch all year round.
Yeah, we got a lot of those. Well, all right. Let's guess we better get to the drink for tonight, huh? This drink does not have any Christmas spirit in it, so sorry.
Good.
Even though this is going to be a Christmas episode, apparently, I think we've found the most un-Christmas movie that has no Christmassiness in it.
That's why I'm happy.
But the cocktail tonight embodies the film's mysterious, intense, and mind-bending themes, which it is very intense. And the drink for tonight is called the Ashcliff Illusion. It is made up
that
of...
sounds really funky.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It's there, and then you drink it, and then it's not. It was on an illusion.
Ooh, I like that kind of drink.
Yeah. Need another, and another, and another. You'll like it even more when you find out what's in it. So, this drink is made up of 2 ounces of gin, reflecting on the film's underlying sharpness and clarity, which I don't think it has any clarity till the end. Half ounce of dry vermouth to add a layer of complexity and depth, which it definitely has lots of layers and depth. Half ounce of blue curacao for a mysterious and unsettling hue, representing the island's enigmatic nature. Also, that it's surrounded by fucking water and it's blue. One dash of orange bitters to bring a subtle bittersweet note. A splash of tonic water to add a bit of effervescence, symbolizing the film's psychological twists. And a lemon twist for garnish. All right, and how you make this drink is in a mixing glass, fill it with ice, combine the gin, the dry vermouth, the blue curacao, and orange bitters. Stir it well until chilled, strain into a cocktail glass, top with a splash of tonic water, and garnish with the lemon twist. Don't fill the glass up halfway with tonic water, just a splash, all right? You want to be able to taste it. I've been known to do that crap and just put too much of the too much of the soda or too much of the tonic water or the soda water, whatever it might be. Right, but you gotta restrain yourself. You gotta taste the alcohol, right?
So don't water it down.
Don't water it down. Why would you want to do that?
It's too much water in this film already. We don't need any more water.
Exactly. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of stormy days in this movie. And a lot of water and cliffs and crazy stuff that makes no sense at first viewing. But that's where we're at. So, enjoy your Ashcliff illusion and watch the trailer for tonight's film.
Give you a briefing about the institution?
All I know is it's a mental hospital.
For the criminally insane.
We take only the most dangerous, damaged patients, ones no other hospital can manage. You are hereby required to surrender your firearms.
We are duly appointed federal marshals.
But during your stay, you will obey protocol. Gentlemen, welcome to Shutter Island.
Marshal Daniels?
Doctor, so this female prisoner, Rachel Solando, escaped sometime in the last 24 hours.
Is she considered dangerous?
You could say that. It's 11 miles to the nearest land and the water's freezing.
We don't know how she got out of her room.
Came back for a midnight round, she was gone.
It's as if she evaporated straight through the walls. Who is 67?
There are a total of, 66 patients at this facility?
That is correct, yes.
Well, it seems to me Rachel Solando is suggesting that you have a 67th patient, Doctor. A lot of people know about this place, but no one will talk, It's like they're scared of something.
You haven't taken any pills, have you? Seen any walking nightmares lately, Marshal?
I've built something valuable here.
Don't you get it?
You're a rat in a maze.
Valuable things have a way of being misunderstood.
Who knows about this?
Everyone.
The nurses, the orderlies? They couldn't possibly know.
Everyone. You do understand that they can't let you leave.
Going somewhere?
This island.
All right, folks, that was the trailer for the 2010 American neo-noir psychological thriller, Shutter Island, directed by none other than Martin Scorsese, and one of his few non-gangster styled movies, which I was thankful for myself because I'm not big on the gangster movies. But I think this is what people kind of consider his version of a horror film. It was adapted by Laeta Kalogridis, maybe, if I got that right.
I love how your voice is going higher when you're trying to cover the fact that you can't say it. Later?
Yeah, it's probably Lata. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. She knows. Everybody she knows probably knows. Not me. It's based on
Scorsese's knows.
Probably, yeah. Scorsese. Based on the 2003 novel of the same name by Dennis Leon. Released on February 19th, 2010, Shutter Island received generally positive reviews from critics, and it was chosen by the National Board of Review as one of the top 10 films of 2010. And it grossed $295 million worldwide. The film is also highly regarded for its soundtrack, which is an interesting. It actually has no score, which I didn't know this because I actually own the score on vinyl. and I don't, for whatever reason, I just never paid attention. But apparently, the soundtrack to this movie is all classical music that has been re-recorded by an orchestra by whoever arranged the soundtrack. Which is very interesting. And I had no idea that was actually a thing. And I actually really love the soundtrack for this movie. Those foghorns and all, I don't know. I just really dig it. So that was very interesting for me to find. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who's a composer yesterday while I was watching the movie. And I think he had seen the movie when it first came out or something. And he's like, is that the one that has the soundtrack with all the classical music? And I'm like, what? No. I mean, there's like a couple times that a record plays or something, but it's got, there's a score. It's really good though. And he's like, huh, okay. So he already knew about it, which I thought was interesting. And I didn't find that out till today. So I thought that was.
So he's laughing at you now.
Oh yeah, he will be. Well, I'm never going to let him hear this, so he'll never know that.
I'm going to tell him. I'm going to send him a link, and then it's actually Richard Astly.
Thanks a lot. Throw me under the bus. I appreciate it. Thanks, partner.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, this is why all the noir characters backstab each other. Jeez.
I'm method acting for a podcast. Leave me alone.
All right. So before we get into tonight's movie, we do have to do Carly has to do her in a nutshell synopsis. And now it's time for Carly's super famous in a nutshell synopsis.
Okay, so we follow the gripping tale of a man caught in the throes of paranoia as he tries to unravel the mystery of a missing patient and a clandestine treatment facility for 2 hours, and then in the last 20 minutes realise that it was utterly pointless as the character we have rooted for so deeply doesn't even bloody exist.
Which is great because he does exist, but he kind of doesn't exist. It's like multiple personalities sort of, right? And yeah, and then at the end you're unsure. Wait, I shouldn't say the end in case people haven't seen it because we're not there yet, right? So I'll just
spoiler.
Spoiler. We forgot. We haven't been using that spoiler alert button, but we should probably not do spoilers.
We have a button for spoilers? Bloody hell.
I think at one point you suggested it, and then I think I used it once, and then it disappeared. But it's just the way it goes. So let's see. It's been 13 years since this movie came out. Did you see it when it first was released?
No, this was my first time watching it.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan though, am I?
I don't know if you are or not. No. I know that I'm not. I really don't like him. However, he's kind of like Tom Cruise territory for me, where if Tom Cruise is in a film, even if I think it looks interesting, I'll go, nah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm the same way, especially with Tom Cruise. Like DiCaprio, it's funny because there are several movies he's in that I really like, but I never really liked him until I saw this movie. I really think he put his all into this movie, personally. I think it was pretty good. And I really did like another Scorsese movie, The Departed. But it's that was one of those movies that's a one-time watch for me because I'm not really big on the gangster stuff. But I thought that was pretty good as well.
See, I did like him in Inception, but I thought Inception was such a good film that really, it sounds horrible when I say it, but kind of you could kind of put anybody in there.
Yeah,
and it would still have been a good film because it was very well written and because it had so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like Ellen Page.
Oh.
There's quite a few actors, to be fair. I only liked Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy. But I thought because everything that was going on, you're not watching Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know, it just worked.
Is it Cillian? I thought it was Cillian. I always called him Cillian.
It might be Cillian.
I could be wrong.
Might be Cillian.
I can't pronunciate anything, so don't listen to me, Carly.
Neither can I. I don't know, but I like him.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I like Ellen Page too, though. Everybody in there, I just wasn't. I don't know. I thought the movie was okay. I didn't think it was anything special, personally. But I don't know. It was all right. This movie is a little more up my alley, though. I know a lot of people love Inception, but I don't know. It was okay to me. Yeah, DiCaprio definitely wasn't a draw for me for this movie, but man, Jesus, I've already forgot his name. Mark Ruffalo, I thought was fantastic in it. Actually, I think everybody in it was really great, but I mean, you could throw Mark Ruffalo in any noir type movie. He's just perfect for it.
He just fits, doesn't he? He's just got that look and that vibe and that style and the way that his eyebrow sort of like, he's got like a lazy look to him, which kind of fits. I'm trying not to be like, I don't mean it in a bad way when I say a lazy look.
He's got a laid back, kind of nonchalant, kind of like.
Yeah. He uses kind of like that kind of era, I think, without trying.
No, there was a lot of people out there that was really fighting for him to play a new version of Columbo, which I thought would be pretty perfect for that as well. And I think that kind of came off the coattails of when he was in Zodiac, because he was very kind of scruffy, trench coat wearing in that.
He was good in that.
Yeah, that movie and this one, I both could totally see him playing that character as well. But I just
think you kind of forget, don't you, the things that he's done, because he's so good at blending in that you think, like, I was surprised that he was in this, even though I knew he was in it.
Yeah. No, it is true. Because I was looking at it, I was like, Mark Ruffalo, I was like, I know him. And I'm thinking, like, what other movies when he's in Zodiac? Yeah, I know he plays the Hulk, but I don't watch any of those. What else? Oh, yeah, he was in Dr. Giggles. Like, nobody remembers that. But that was his first movie role. And then he's in that Contaminated Water movie, which I can't remember what it's called, Dark Water.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good, yeah.
And I know him from other things, but I just can't, for whatever reason, I just can't think of it. And he's such a great actor. But who knows? Who knows what causes that crap? I think because he's just probably like very un-Hollywood, he's not out there like constantly in the limelight or something. I don't know. Not that I pay attention to any of that shit either. But I don't know. But anyway, the film's got go ahead.
I was going to say the other guy's the same as well. What's his name? The one that plays the doctor.
Ben Kingsley?
Is it Ben Kingsley?
Yeah.
He's very similar.
Yeah. Max von Sydow, or however you pronounce his name. They're all fucking fantastic. They really are. Ben Kingsley, I think he really was hitting a stride in, like, I think I'd say like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. He was showing up in a lot of stuff for a while. And he's pretty solid, but I always feel like he plays kind of the same sort of person. I think the character in Shutter Island was a little bit different and I got a little confused with his character though, because he only part of the time seemed like he gave a crap about what's happening. Right. And then when you get to the end of the movie and this is like his baby, this whole like scenario that's going on is like something he's designed. I really thought it was strange that he just sort of was blowing off the Leonardo DiCaprio character, at different points, in the scenario. Like I didn't quite understand that arc of the character. But other than that, I thought he's pretty solid. I thought they were all pretty solid in the movie. Now, you just watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago. I saw it when it first came out. When it first came out, I was sort of like half and half excited because it was definitely my style of movie. But then DiCaprio was in it. I'm like, damn it, right? And then there was also a bit of hoopla about, Scorsese making like a sort of horror film, like a Cape Fear kind of thing, which doesn't happen often, right? So I was kind of excited about that because he's a great director. And I really enjoyed the movie, and I had no idea what was happening in terms of this twist ending. Watching it a second time, it's like just listening to what people are saying. It's like almost like, wow, if I was just a little bit more intelligent I should have been able to figure that out in like the first 20 minutes of the movie, but I just didn't, and I'm just sitting here like, listening to all these things that these people are saying. It's like, oh my God, this is so obvious. Right. But that I think is just part of like master craft of screenwriting and directing that came out of these people. So I think they did a really great job. And even having, known what the twist is and all that kind of stuff, I still really enjoyed the film. I really think that the only real negativity that I have towards it is some of the green screen stuff was really bad. I don't know if they were just in a rush, but the stormy weather, like behind them, like on the boat. And then there's a few shots when they're walking down a corridor in the hospital and like it's storming outside. And there's a few other shots, I think maybe on the cliff or something, where the green screen was just really, really shoddy kind of work. The edges are just like, you just know it's green screen or whatever kind of keying they used. It just didn't look great. And that's sad because everything else is excellent. The costuming, the set design, everything. Even though I think most of this movie is shot on location, it's a really beautiful movie in a dark sort of gothic kind of feeling way, right?
Yeah, it's very gothic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think that's sort of like that feeling for those asylums back in the 50s. I'm not certain how old those places would have been at that point, but they definitely are always portrayed as these very gothic-y kind of dungeon-esque, places. And they really were dungeons, right? And it reminds me, especially when they finally get into that, what is it, C block or whatever, the one with all the really crazy people.
Oh, with like all the jail cells and stuff.
Yeah. So there was a video game that came out, I want to say in the late 90s called Asylum, which, man, it looks just like those scenes in the movie. Like even when they're in the staircase sort of like section and the inmate grabs them and is spouting off all this stuff about the H-bomb and things like that. Like all of that scenery looks like it's pulled straight out of that video game. So I always found that pretty interesting. But
I thought they got really good with building the kind of making the location a character. Because do you remember that script that I wrote ages ago, Bedlam?
Yeah.
I did a lot of research on the asylums and things at the time for that. And that's kind of like, I think Shutter Island kind of hit the nail right on the head with how you would want something like that to look and kind of be portrayed. Because even though you don't see anything terrifying in there, it's still terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which then feeds into the scenes when you're going down a corridor, you think, what's actually there? Because this is terrifying. The atmosphere that's been built and the way they've done the set design, like there's something lurking. Even if and then it makes you don't know whether you're going to see it. You don't know whether you're going to see it next time. You don't know how horrendous it's going to be, but you kind of like get like a feeling of dread.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you totally do. There's many scenes in this movie where you kind of have that sort of feeling and that set up and, So yeah, I totally agree with that Bedlam script too. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And even like, and you get this sense from the very beginning of the movie, even when they're on the boat, with the sound, the score that's not a score, apparently. It's just so well picked, And then they continue that on as they're approaching the asylum with that music, and then the gates opening and the low angles and the leaves and the wind and the storm and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really immersive into this world that you're stuck on this island with them is really what it feels like. And, I'm not sure what else to call it besides immersive. It really is. And a lot of movies don't quite hit that. And I don't know if it's because this film is primarily shot on real locations, that they are more lively and, they breathe, opposed to other films being, sets or whatnot. but it's really it's a really strong character of its own in the film, like you called, the asylum a character, but that's really what it feels like. Yeah. Did you get confused at all?
No.
I feel like it's a stupid question in a way, but yeah, I figured you wouldn't.
Well, no, because you know how my brain works slightly. I'm wired slightly different to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I knew which way it was going. So it made sense in my head when I was watching it as to the way that I thought it was going.
So you knew the ending? I was
confused in the last 25 minutes.
Okay. So at what point did you think that he was already an inmate or a patient?
So I didn't. I thought that he was going to be institutionalized.
Oh, I see.
They were going to be like
stealing.
Yeah. So they were kind of like feeding his paranoia, and I thought that he was going to end up being in there, even though he wasn't meant to be in there.
Gotcha.
So I thought that his character was going to be right all along, to be suspicious, and end up kind of being a victim of his own fate, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get it. So that must have really hit home when his partner disappeared for a minute, huh?
Yeah, because I thought, "Come on, Leo, we're going storming the castle, mate. Come on, let's go." and then it went, yeah, and then we had Ben Kingsley sat in a chair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there were portions that really kind of confused the hell out of me, like especially with Rachel and whatever his wife's name was. Like I got really confused in terms of like places and time and characters.
Do you mean like the image where near the beginning where she's kind of like in the room and there's petals falling down and then there's ash and then she's bleeding and
yeah.
Didn't really need that scene, to be honest.
No, it's a really beautiful scene, but it's like it really confused, like the whole idea.
It's very out of place.
Yeah, it's like they're I think they were injecting the idea of the apartment burning down and then them moving out to the cabin, which that whole story thread wasn't needed. But then they have this other character in the in the C block or whatever they called the really bad area, who was supposedly the one that burnt down the apartment, which is really coincidental. But of course, it wasn't actually that anyway. So that whole kind of thread, I thought might have. If it was pulled out, it might have made it a little more clear and a little less confusing for me. But it was a really nice. I mean, it's a really great looking. Like all the scenes in the movie are really good looking scenes, and it reminded me more of like a David Fincher kind of film.
Yeah,
like
more surreal.
Yeah, he's got very strong camera work that he does, because he tends to work really closely with the DPs, and I saw a lot of that in this film that I don't think I typically see in Scorsese movies. Not that the cinematography is bad or anything, it's usually phenomenal, but not as strong, I think, as this movie, which is why I'm so let down by some of the special effects in the film. Because I think they did it a disservice because they're just noticeable. But a lot of the shots just really kind of came through very strongly. But that particular scene, I think, if they had cut that out and cut that sort of storyline of the apartment burning down, I think it would have been a little more clear. But I'm not certain he would have wanted that. Maybe he just wanted to confuse you. Maybe that was the whole idea, is just to keep you on your toes, be confused, which is a possibility. So it didn't really bother me at all, but I do, even knowing the story this time around, watching it, I was like, I really had to like sit there and think like, okay, this is his wife. Who's the Rachel then? And why are they talking about children? He's already said something about his children being like, there's all these parallels that are way too similar, but different people's names, you know, and of course it makes sense at the end of the movie where it's like, oh, Rachel is his daughter's name, you know, that kind of thing. So I get it, but it was just like almost too confusing to sit there and try to pay attention to the story, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're just trying to figure it out in your head and you're not figuring it out because they're not giving you the proper information that you would need in order to figure it out, kind of thing. But again, that's probably by design. So I can't really fault him on that. Now I'm assuming you've never read the book either, right?
No.
Yeah. Excuse me. I did read that the sort of twist to the twist ending is not in the book. So there's
the lobotomizing bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I felt like that is absolutely a necessity, you know, like I think that makes the movie. I love that idea that he is so broken that the treatment did work, you know, but he just doesn't want to be aware anymore. You know, I thought that was pretty great. And I'm going to read this little section here because there was a psychologist or psychiatric advisor, I guess, for the film, had something to say on that particular thing. There have been differing opinions over the ending of the film, in which Lattis asks Dr. Shion, which would be worse, to live as a monster or to die as a good man? And that line does not appear in the book. And Professor James Gilligan of New York University, who was Scorsese's psychiatric advisor, said that Lattis's last words mean, and I quote, "I feel too guilty to go on living. I'm not going to actually commit suicide, but I'm going to vicariously commit suicide by handing myself over to these people who are going to lobotomize me." And Dennis Leon, however, said, "Personally, I think he has a momentary flash. It's just one moment of sanity mixed in the midst of all the other delusions." And I don't know that really makes sense, that last part, because his story ends there after he gets lobotomized, right? So how would you ever know if it's just a momentary flash or if he was actually cured, you know? So I think
that's true.
Yeah, I think it's much stronger of a perspective to consider him having the experiment actually worked. But sadly enough, you know, we're already told early on in the movie that, you know, DiCaprio's character is way more intelligent than he looks, right? So at that point, I think, you know, that's just a fitting ending to the movie, other than our doctor's whole experiment and everything he's been trying to do gets laid to waste, you know?
Just derailed about 7 months worth of project there, but never mind.
Yeah, which is sad, you know, because he's actually trying to help people in a very humane way. And, you know, it works, but he doesn't even know it. He doesn't get to experience that success, you know, unfortunately. So it's a very complicated, you know, emotional kind of ending there for both characters, I think. And they give you a couple little flashes of the doctor and his disappointment, but there's got to be a lot going on there behind the scenes for him that we don't necessarily get to see. Now, I was always under the impression that Shutter Island was not well received, that people just didn't like it. And I think because the names attached to the movie, you know, Scorsese and DiCaprio specifically.
Maybe because it was so offbeat from what they'd usually do. It was such a drastic change.
Right. Yeah. And I was thinking about like Cape Fear and how Cape Fear worked, and everybody was excited for that film. And that was kind of from out of left field as well. But that also was like the height of like De Niro and, you know, actually quite a few of those actors. and how this one, maybe because the budget is so big, it's like a much bigger budgeted film. Maybe the spectacle of it kind of overshadowed it in a way, because I just felt like people, when it first came out, just didn't really like it, or it wasn't, I don't know, they just felt it was too weird, I guess.
Don't forget though, there was a bit of an overkill of twist endings. Some were done really, really well, and some were not done as well.
Yeah, I really think this comes at the tail end of that too, because that really, really was kicking off from The Sixth Sense, which I think was like 99 or something. So it's like another 10 years after that. And I'm not certain that we've received a whole lot of massive twist endings like this since then. None that I can actually recall off the top of my head anyway. So you could be right. You could be right. That could be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like the ending, to be fair.
Of Shutter Island?
Yeah. I didn't
nobody
like
asked
the
you.
ending.
Nobody asked you. You just go watch Sixth Sense again, okay? So just.
Well, I've been whammed, so I'll say what I want.
Why? What was your problem with it?
It just felt so. It felt like a completely different part of the script had been tacked on at the end.
Oh.
So from what was going on beforehand, you had all the atmosphere, you had all these deep meaning stuff and this character development and everything. It was really good and it was really investing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like that stops. Like when you're watching Dusk Till Dawn and you think, I'm watching one film. And then all of a sudden, there's vampires and snakes and you're like, the heck is going on here?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I love it.
It was a bit like that. So I just felt like...
It's Psycho.
The dialogue and things like that, it didn't match up to what you had before. It was kind of like in your face. This is the twist. Like, I think that a twist ending, you should feel in the pit of your stomach just as it's being unraveled. Like the moment when you watch The Sixth Sense, or I'm trying to think of another, Seven. Like, you know what's coming. Mm-hmm. Because you work it out at exactly the same moment as they're revealing it to you. And you're like, oh my God. And it just does something to you. Whereas with this, it was kind of like, it wasn't like, ooh, it was like, what? And then you had to sit and go, oh, right, oh, okay, he's explaining to me. Yeah, the guns. Oh, yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's telling me about the gun. So what about this? Oh, yeah, he's telling me about this. And I just think, because if you've got to explain an ending, to me, that doesn't flow quite right. I liked the last bit that you were just talking about, where he kind of like had a little bit of sanity. And then he kind of like did his own twist.
Yeah.
But I did not enjoy the reveal of that character and the charade that had been going on at all between the three of them. I just think it went on too long. Too much exposition.
Yeah, I definitely...
And it just didn't kind of feel believable as a scenario, which sounds silly because I know that that's possible, but it kind of didn't feel believable or realistic. I don't know. Maybe if I watched it again, perhaps it would be a bit more cohesive. But on a first watch,
maybe
can't say that I was a big fan of it.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel you on the idea that there's too much dialogue at the end. I do think that they probably could have held back a little bit more in terms of like basically telling you, and instead of experiencing him realizing it, like especially the gun. I don't think we needed to hear any of that dialogue. I think we could have just seen him like break the gun and like you get it, right? Maybe if
it was almost like a bullet point of what people are going to criticize. It was like a bullet point, and then they'd written dialogue for each bullet point to kind of explain it to you, and it just felt a bit spoon-fed. And I thought, well, because of how exceptionally good the film had been before that kind of felt like it took away from it a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, no, that's reasonable. Absolutely. Yeah. I guess it would be interesting to maybe re-edit that end scene to see how it feels. Because I didn't initially have any problems with it. Although at that point the movie was feeling a bit long. But it was just so such a good looking film, it didn't really bother me, I guess, and the pacing isn't bad of the film either.
No, it's not. No, it doesn't feel the length that it is.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Until you get into that room and there's so much exposition, dialogue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess I would have to agree with you on that. Yeah. I bet you there's an alternate way to edit that scene to where it's more of an impactful realization than
yeah,
dialogue.
I feel like I'm not an editor. I can't proclaim to know anything about that, but I just feel like as a viewer and as a writer, because I had a script that was not similar, but I kind of had like a dual life kind of script, and I couldn't figure out the ending. So I just kind of like wrote some crap, and it's absolute crap. And that felt to me like, oh, that's what I would have done, just blocked on a load of crap at the end just to kind of justify it.
And then whose fault is that? Is that the author of the book? Is that the screenwriter, or is that Scorsese, or did everybody fail?
Or is it editing? But it makes you wonder, though, if it was shorter, if you kind of got him realising it himself without them telling him, would that have made it more overall impactful? Because A, it would have been a little bit shorter, B, it might have been a little bit more invested. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point. It is. It's an excellent point. Well, Shutter Island was released alongside another film called The Ghost Rider. And with 41 million, finished first at the box office. It gave Scorsese his highest grossing box office opening to date. Wow. And the film remained number one in its second weekend with 22.2 million. So almost a 50% fall off, but it still remained at number one, which is pretty good.
See, that's word of mouth.
Yeah, definitely. Eventually, it grossed worldwide 294 million and became Scorsese's second highest grossing film worldwide. It's Scorsese's fifth movie to debut at the box office at number one, following Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Cape Fear, and The Departed. The Ghost Rider was interesting because I didn't remember that film until I looked it up. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do remember that. I'm not sure if I've seen it, but Ewan McGregor is in it. And it did pretty well, and it's got even a higher critic rating than Shutter Island does. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. So I think we're looking at a film that is complicated. It's a neo-noir. It's a psychological thriller. It's got a stacked cast and a excellent, well-known director, high budget, but it's ultimately complicated. And I think that might have been the initial feeling when it first came out, at least from what I recall. However, I do have the same personal feelings for the film that I did when I first saw it. And with that said, I think it's time that we can get down to the rating of this film. So, Carly, I've already kind of voiced your issues with the end of the film. Was there anything else throughout the movie that really kind of bothered you, or did you, for the most part, enjoy it and it really just came down to the ending?
I did enjoy it. The only thing that bothered me was that stupid rock climb.
Why is that?
You remember Sylvester Stallone doing Cliffhanger? Did it better than him, right? That was ridiculous. On the edge of a cliff.
Is it because it looked too easy, or like what? Like what?
Yeah, it was like literally. It was like, God knows how many miles down when he looked down, and then all of a sudden he's at the bottom.
Yeah,
and then he just clops up two things, and he's in a little wall with a woman. But do you know what it did remind me of, though, that I did like? Do you remember that one we watched with DeForest Kelly?
Yeah. I don't remember the title, but yeah, the hypnotist one. Yeah.
So some of the like the noir elements kind of took me back to that film. I thought it was quite reminiscent of that film, and I don't exactly know why. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it really, really reminded me of that DeForest Kelly one.
I think maybe the dream sequences.
I think so. There was something, it just instantly, I just thought, oh, that reminds me of that. Because I was thinking when I was watching it, I don't think this is a neo-noir. super horror.
Yeah.
But then every now and again, they kind of like threw in these little sequences, and I thought, DeForest Kelly.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see, especially when he takes the medication and then falls asleep in the, wherever that he was bunking at with the rest of the like workers or whatever. And then he has a couple like intense dream sequences. That definitely reminded me of the DeForest Kelly movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like any time it's like memory related. And obviously that DeForest Kelly film was quite memory related because he couldn't remember whether he committed a murder.
Right.
So I quite like that little tie. And I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but I liked it.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. All right. Well, give us a lowdown. What's your rating on this movie?
See, I think you'll be surprised because even though I didn't like the ending, I still give it an 8.
Oh, nice. That's respectable.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I did really enjoy the performances. I don't think you can fault them, and I do everything I can to fault Leonardo DiCaprio, and I can't fault him in this. To be fair, he was good. He really was. Everybody was good.
All right.
I really liked the atmosphere and the motifs, with the red and the blue and the fear of water and where that came from. And I thought the scene towards the end with his wife where you saw what actually happened.
Yeah.
Just astonishing. That was brilliant, mesmerizing.
Yeah. It was very heartbreaking to see.
Oh, God, it was. And the way that Michelle Williams is just so like, oh, we can make him a doll. Oh, my God, no wonder he shot you.
Right, yeah.
And I did like how the film eventually finished. I did like the final scene. So it's not like the ending was a complete write-off in my head.
Uh-huh.
I just think the ending was disappointing because it kind of let down the rest of the film. But then it's only supposed like having a few bad scenes further along. To me.
Yeah, it's almost like
I still enjoyed it.
The rest of the movie was not enough information, then the ending was like way too much information.
Too much, yeah. Yeah. But I still enjoyed it. So I thought, I'd give it an 8.
Cool. I think that makes a lot of sense, yeah. I think that it's a really beautiful film, like just the look and the style and the atmosphere. I think Scorsese really nailed it on every level as far as that goes. I think the cast is really fantastic, even DiCaprio. Like this is one of the few roles that I think he did a really great job, and it looks like he put, his all into it. Especially that heartbreaking scene with his wife and pulling the kids out of the water and like killing her. Like it really, you can really feel like the emotion, the heartbreak there. It's like, it's pretty crazy. I mean, Mark Ruffalo is just always solid. Like he's just interesting to watch. He's fun. He's just a cool kind of guy. But, a few of my issues with it really is some of the special effects don't quite hold up, which really draws me out of a movie like this. If it's a huge effects laden film, like an issue here or there isn't like a big deal to me because you're watching pretty much all fake stuff. But this movie is so real feeling and in the real world kind of thing, to see like these shoddy kind of green screen shots like really kind of bugs me.
Do you reckon that was intentional though? Because you do end up watching kind of like something that's not real.
Damn it, Carly.
Maybe they were doing that on purpose to kind of like show you this ain't real. I don't know,
That's possible. I mean, it is possible, but I'm not sure you would go that far to mess with your audience because you don't want your audience to think that, do you? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Because everything else is so well done, I feel like there's probably more. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's just some shoddy effects work, but I'm not really sure. And you do have me questioning the end of the movie now. Like, would it be better if there was less dialogue in that scene? Possibly. I think that's definitely something worth exploring. Maybe, it was too much.
They did say the studio interfered a lot, though, so I have a feeling that because it had such a style all the way through, I wonder if some jumped up exec's gone, nobody's going to get it, you need to explain it all.
Interesting. I didn't come across that. That's cool. Was there anything specific that they said, or?
No, they just the research that I found was just that there was a lot of studio interference in the film. I think it ended up being his last studio film that he did.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So it makes me think, especially, what people are like when they put money in, they're forceful.
Yeah, they're always fucking with the endings.
Yeah, they are. They really are. And they go, oh, nobody's going to get it. Explain it more.
Yeah. That could be. Maybe he was doing that on purpose to fuck with the studio. Like, it's a fake gun. And now let's show him break it too. Let's have every character in the room say it's fake. Yeah, it could be. That's interesting. So yeah, I overall I think it's really good, and I think it holds up upon a second watch, even knowing the twist ending. I think it's still well worth watching multiple times, as to where I think if you're watching The Sixth Sense, it's kind of like it definitely loses a huge entertainment factor with that twist ending upon rewatch. As to with this one, I don't think it loses a whole lot. It's still really a really great looking film with a good story, with multiple complicated stories within it. So I enjoyed it quite a bit. So anyway, with that said, I give it a 9, which is probably a bit unusual for me with this kind of film and with the players involved and all that kind of stuff. But I really do. This is really a type of film that is up my alley. This is something that I really enjoy, and like these styles of film, especially if it's a neo-noir that's set in the 50s. I love that. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it quite a bit. But there you go. 9 gens out of 10 and 8 gens out of 10. We're pretty close, Carly. We've been doing a lot of similar.
I know.
We're being very judgy together on these films lately. So
I know. Maybe like our personalities are starting to sync.
Yeah, it only took 4 seasons to like finally like get in line here. Jesus. Fighting me the whole way with your damn opinions. No, but hey, you know what? It was a great pick on your part. Yes, folks at home, Carly did pick this film, and I think it was definitely worth a second watch for me. I hope you guys.
I wanted to see if it was any good, so my mum could watch it, because she likes horror films, but she doesn't like Leonardo DiCaprio. So I said, "I'll watch it for you first, love."
And how did that pan out?
Roulette.
She
watched it.
Oh, did she? How did she enjoy it? What did she think?
She's very annoyed, because she didn't get the twist ending. And like I've told you, she gets everything. After the first 5 minutes of The Sixth Sense, she just walks out, went, "He's dead. Fuck it. I'm bored of this." She didn't get the ending, but she was very confused. We had a lot of conversations.
Nice. Okay.
She kept phoning me up going, "What about this?" "I don't bloody know. Watch it again, Mum. I watched it once." What do you want from me?
That's great. I love it. All right. So did she ultimately decide if she liked the movie or?
See, my mum's, I wish we could get her on one day, because her ratings are kind of like, she makes noises. She's like, bloody brilliant. Oh, not bad. That's basically her ratings.
Yeah. What'd she give this one?
She went, not bad.
All right. Not great, but not bad. She's in the middle. I get it.
That's the time.
Nice. All right, folks. We hope that you like your Ashcliff Illusion, along with checking out Shutter Island, maybe for the first or second or third time. I don't know. Enjoy the confusion while you're getting drunk to more confusion. Just don't go insane. All right. Until next time.
He's looking at you, kid.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Speakeasy Noircast. Make sure to visit our website, resurrectionfilms.net, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, or any of your favorite podcast apps so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, The Dark Side of Acting Up, and The Dark Side of Acting Up Volume 2, now available on Amazon. or you can check out one of our films, also available on Amazon Prime. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of the Speakeasy Noir Cast.